Scaled Down Tucson Dragway is on the road again this week, this time from MotoSonora. If you have not checked it out, it's a local microbrewery on Park Avenue just north of 22nd. They've got live music. They've got a huge outdoor patio to encourage social distancing. They even have a dog park, so bring your friends. But you know what they did that might not be very smart? They left me behind the bar. You know what? Let's save that until after the races. Once again this week, Scaled Down Tucson Dragway is on the road this week, stopping in at MotoSonora, local microbrew here in the Tucson area. If you haven't checked them out, it is automotive performance themed, and they make some of the best home brew. Don't worry, it's legal. You got to stop by and check it out. Let's take a look at the 8 competitors that are going to battle it out here today. We have got quite a field of cars, starting with a classic Aston Martin. I asked about modifications to this car, and they said it's the James Bond version. I said, what does that mean? Q said, shut up and don't open the hood. I don't want to get James Bond mad at me. Next to that, how about a brand new version, Ford GT? This one has had the treatment. Yeah, I know you'd think that's a road racing car, but believe me, these things accelerate. Speaking of accelerating, that is a drag pack Dodge Challenger, the new version, supercharged, 354-inch new gen Hemi. These things just pump out the horsepower. You like classics? We got classics. The old Ford Mustang. It may look old on the outside, but that is a Coyote under the hood with a couple of hair dryers stuffing air in it. Next to that, the classic Chevrolet, 1955 model, and it's got a 555-inch big block. Believe it or not, there's also a supercharger slid under that flat hood. You want to talk performance? I got 2 words for you. Bugatti Chiron. You need more? Google it. How about another classic Corvette? This one is a Stingray from back in the day. It's got an LS4 under the hood, and that thing's getting a little force feeding as well. And our wildest car in the field today, I know, that's a big statement considering the ones we just saw. Check it out. Twin blown Hemis in this home-built horsepower monster. That's the 8 that are going to battle it out today. MotoSonora as Tucson Dragway. Scaled down version is on the road. We are inside the brew house here at MotoSonora as we get ready for round number 1 of Scaled Down Tucson Dragway. Check out the size of those tanks. You know what I call that? A week's supply. All right, let's match them up here. First out of the box, we've got the James Bond edition Aston Martin going up against the Ford GT. I have no idea what they've done to that Aston Martin, but I know what they've done to the Ford. Let's figure out which one gets to the end of Scaled Down Tucson Dragway first. Great drag race, and it ends up being the Aston Martin sending the GT back home. I mean, I don't think this is going to have quite the same effect as the Ford versus Ferrari movie, but we could be starting an international incident. All right, let's take a look at our second pairing. We've got the classic Ford against the new model drag pack, but remember, under the hood of that Mustang, that is all new technology. We are talking Coyote, supercharged. We are also talking about the drag pack that makes over 1,400 horsepower, the Ford. Taking care of business, pumping a whole lot of air into that classic Mustang and enough to keep the nose of it out in front of the drag pack Dodge. Third pair, round 1. So far, round 1 has not been kind to the modern performance cars. Will that trend continue? Well, the Bugatti driver is hoping not. But remember, there's a whole lot of extra horsepower under the hood of that 55 Chevrolet as well. Let's check it out. The shoebox, the exotic. We're talking 200 horsepower, 200 mile an hour street car, and he takes care of business. Looked like the Chevy got a little bit out of the groove over there up against the center wall. The Chevrolet bows out. The Bugatti moves on. Our final pair in round number 1, it's going to be the classic Stingray against the twin Hemi. Let's see who's going to go on into the final 4 here at MotoSonora and Scaled Down Tucson Dragway. 2 Hemis are better than a Corvette as the Chevrolet gets loose, goes over the wall, off the track. Fire and safety on the scene. Check him out. Driver is A-OK. The car is going to need a little bit of restoration work before it's ready to race again. So the Corvette is headed to the body shop. Fortunately, the driver does not have to go far to drown his sorrows here at MotoSonora. We're enjoying the hospitality of MotoSonora here this week with Scaled Down Tucson Dragway. Jeremy of MotoSonora, tell me a little bit about your place.
All right, thanks for coming. We're a small brewery in Tucson, new this year. It was kind of a tough year to open, but we're trying to bring some of the best beer in town to our beer garden and your local restaurants here. We try and bring in people. We have a sort of vintage racing theme, as you can see in the background, and we're just stoked to be a part of the Tucson beer community.
Live music, different events that you have here.
Yes, so obviously this year was limited because of COVID, but yes, outside we currently have live music on Friday and Saturday nights, and as the world kind of opens up, we're going to try and make more beer festivals and things like that happen.
Looking forward to seeing you out here at MotoSonora. Looking forward to the semifinals. They're coming up right now. We're set to go in the semifinals, and here's the way they're going to match up. The Bugatti, horsepower running out of its ears against the twin Hemi that just took care of the Corvette back in round number 1. Who's going to race for the trophy here at MotoSonora and scale down Tucson Dragway? And it's going to be the Bugatti taking care of business. Hey, when you got enough power to go 260 miles an hour on the street, you certainly got enough power to get to the stripe here at scale down Tucson Dragway. So the Bugatti awaits, cooling down in front of the tower here at scale down Tucson Dragway to see who his opponent will be. Will it be the James Bond edition Aston Martin, or will it be the Coyote-powered classic pony car? Great drag race. We'll go to the photo finish, and it looks like the Aston Martin taking care of business. Our CompuLink timing system gives us a margin of victory of only 4 thousandths of a second. The final round is set here at Scale Down Tucson Dragway. MotoSonora, like all microbreweries, makes their own stuff. Tell me about some of your favorites, Jeff.
So 2 of our flagship beers are our Victory or Death IPA and our Belly Tank Blonde. Our Victory or Death is named after, well, sort of our motto, just kind of doing everything as much as we can all the time. Belly Tank Blonde is named after the old belly tank racers. The fuel tanks off the 50s bombers, they turned into speed demons to race on the salt flats.
You need to come by and check them out in person. I promise you, you'll find a brew you like. I'm trying to pick out how I'm going to celebrate at the end of this thing. Speaking of which, let's get to the finals. So we are set for the final round here from the brew house at MotoSonora and Scale Down Tucson Dragway, and it comes down to the Bugatti, a car that is legendary for performance, against the Aston Martin Bond Edition, the 007 modified car that they won't even tell us what they've done to it. But what it's done all day long is get to the stripe first. Final round, and it's going to be, whoa, how about it? The Aston Martin taking care of business. We take another look in slow motion replay. It looked like the Bugatti was out in front, and then, wait, did the Bond car fire something at him out there at 300 feet? You know what? I'm not raising that controversy. It's okay, James. Take your trophy. Have a nice day. Let's take a trip with the Aston Martin down Scale Down Tucson Dragway on the winning run. On board one more time as the Bugatti has trouble and drops back, and the Aston Martin races its way to the winner's circle. These in-car shots being brought to you by UEM Pistons. That is United Engine and Machine. When you want your car to run at Scale Down Tucson Dragway or the big one, check out the boys at UEM for all your machine shop needs. Congratulations to this week's winner at Scale Down Tucson Dragway, the James Bond Edition Aston Martin. Somebody create a disturbance. I want to look under that hood. A reminder from a couple of our local law enforcement officers here in the Valley. Your need for speed can be satisfied at Tucson Dragway. You should do what they do and take it to the track. Just another reminder of why you should take it to the track. Just in case they're needed, fire and safety are always waiting. Thanks again to our host, MotoSonora, for bringing Tucson Dragway in-house this week. A lot of people have fantasy cars, and we see them race out here. That's my fantasy car, a beer truck. Beer.